Birthday siapa pula ni?
Ini 88 online birthday mah. Shopping online mah. Birthday suka kasih. Wah, lagi suka kasih.
The time never sleeps. Keep one eye open like
Much more fear, concern about the businesses will be affect on the rental of this shop and the salary of our staff.
love. It chose me, but I'm still here, making stones bleed. So I'll go on swimming upstream till I come tumbling down. Oh, when I'm working on faith. Oh, when you're living on faith. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. Oh, when you're giving your all. Oh, when it's coming up short. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. Gotta give a little more. Oh, yes. When the going gets tough, gotta give a little more. Oh, yes. In the name of the Father.
We could actually earn a side income from selling the mask.
Dengan nak bantu family saya yang terjejas teruk sebab disebabkan pandemik.
nama saya Bunga. No, bukan nickname. Like, seriously, itu legit nama saya.
Bunga, esok keluar saya nak.
Sebenarnya, Sam dengan Adam ni dua-dua baik. Sebab tu, saya kena cari jalan untuk tahu yang mana satu paling legit.
Adam baik, sincere. Sam pula handsome.
Nak pilih pun, kena tahu siapa yang naturally legit. Jangan main pilih je, Bunga.
Macam mana kau kenal Bunga Kau? Macam mana kau kenal Bunga?
Tak apa, awak pun dah lama kenal dia.
Kenapa awak rasa saya perlu ingat kat awak?
Bagi saya peluang kedua. Please, Bunga.
Awak dah pilih ke?
I already have my answer.
Kedai bunga macam you ni ada jual produk rambut macam ni? I mean, your place is so green and it's so one with nature. Tiba-tiba ada shampoo.
Sebab herbal essences ni one with nature lah dia ada dekat kedai I. Sebenarnya, I ada pengalaman buruk tau dengan produk yang claim natural. Rambut I jadi rosak, rapuh. Oh, stres gila. Tapi, lepas I guna herbal essences, rambut I lebih sihat dan berkilat.
Wow.
Ya, I guna yang ni.
Seriously?
Serius. Sejak hari tu, I janji dengan diri I sendiri. Apa benda yang I buat, kena naturally legit.
Naturally legit?
Naturally legit.
Naturally legit. I like the sound of that. I'll give this a try.
Thank you.
Biarkan aku terus lena.
Langsung tak legit. Naturally legit. Naturally legit.
Naturally legit.
Kau memujamu. Oh bunga janganlah begitu. Hari terus berlalu. Aku tunggu jawapanmu. Mungkinkah kau sebahagianku? Rasa itu selalu membunuhku. Aku tunggu di tempat pertama bertemu. Tanpa ada rasa jemu. Oh bunga.
Orang asli ni kotor.
Oh, muka Melayu tapi nama Cina.
Do you still live on trees?
Every year, during Merdeka, we hear stories celebrating only the 3 main boxes, leaving one box out, the DLLs. Over 250 ethnicities in one box.
I'm a Shindian.
Why?
As a brand that champions creating a better everyday life for Malaysians, we didn't want to create just another fluffy Merdeka ad. We wanted to create a truly diverse one, where they would feel included and celebrated. So how can we differentiate ourselves from other malls and get Malaysians in the mood to celebrate Merdeka with us? Well, first, we had to unbox all the boxes that separated us from each other. So we rallied a group of everyday Malaysians in an unscripted interview and discovered children too. See every individual beyond stereotypes and checkboxes. They see what makes all of us uniquely special. So we turned their unique points of view into our brand film.
Rojak sounds like salad.
Chicken chop.
Born, bred, brought up in this country. So why are you labeling me?
What's label lah?
Don't label lah.
Created a community on our hashtag KitaDLL microsite and invited everyone to join the conversation by generating their own DLL acronym, share it on social media with their pictures for a chance to be featured on major highway digital billboards. We even took over prime locations in the Klang Valley and Johor Bahru by using the DLL acronym that changed based on the time of day and created over 50 hyper-local contextual ads to drive footfall back to our malls, and pioneered TikTok's first regional rewards program, allowing customers to exchange points for shopping discounts and e-vouchers. But we didn't just talk the talk, we got all our shoppers in the spirit of Merdeka on our mobile app and rewarded them if they ticked the Malaysian box. That's not all. With the help of Google's Director Mix, we created over 200 contextual variations of the DLL acronym to reach all our fellow Lion Malaysians based on their search interests. Nationwide, even hijacked famous Malaysian celebrities and our mall tenants with contextual DLL acronyms, which got everyone talking. #Kita DLL reached the hearts of Malaysians, thus making the box no one ever talks about the most talked about box.
IKEA wanted to open a new mall in Johor Bahru. One problem, the new mall is not called IKEA. It's called Toppen. On top of that, we were competing in an oversaturated market of over 1,000 malls nationwide. How did we rise above it? Well, we looked to our Johorian youths, bridging what they loved doing outside their phones with what they loved doing on their phones with TikTok, 2020's most downloaded app, and be Malaysia's first TikTokable mall. We used TikTok every step of the way throughout the brand funnel, starting with the #JealousAd launch of Toppen, which helped us bridge the awareness and perception gap by delivering a unique online to offline experience featuring a jealous-worthy tune. Shopping bags, inviting the Johorian youths to join in the fun.
Jom join JealousAd TikTok challenge
and create their own #JealousAd music video on TikTok with customized AR filters. We even amplified the campaign offline with TikTokable spots all over the mall and had exclusive events for creators and our tenants. Then, the nation's lockdown during Ramadan and Raya was an opportunity to build consideration and bridge the festive and generational gap by delivering a culturally relevant yet pandemic-friendly TikTok experience with #TipTokRaya, featuring 3 totes teaching the youth how to get Raya ready while not being able to balik kampung. Our totes shared Raya tips through unique dance moves, which we turned into a TikTok dance challenge.
Alah, Raya kat rumah pun boleh fulfilling Raya tau. Jom.
With customized AR filters and an original song, everyone could make and share their own song and dance on how to get Raya ready too. And as the nation entered a period of recovery with the RMCO, just in time for Merdeka and Malaysia Day, it was time to drive conversions by bridging the loyalty and affinity gap and delivering a rewarding online to offline experience with #Kita DLL. We wanted to show that no matter what race you are, Toppen would always be there for all Malaysians.
I'm Malay mixed Chinese.
Saya daripada suku kaum orang asli Temuan.
So we turned our #Kita DLL brand film into TikTokable content, urging all Malaysians to help us redefine the DLL acronym on our microsite and sharing it on their social media platforms too. We even collaborated with TikTok to develop the first online to offline TikTok rewards program where shoppers could earn points by engaging with us online through TikTok in exchange for offline shopping perks. Everyone came together proudly, owning their version of Dan Lain Lain, proving that with TikTok as a powerful differentiator and key communication platform, from the top to the bottom of our brand funnel, we secured our position as Malaysia's first TikTokable mall. And with every TikTokable campaign bridging the gap between us and our community, Toppen has truly become the heart and hub for all in Johor Bahru.
We're actually the first shopping centre in Malaysia to do something innovative such as this.
This one is like, wow, look at that.
The pandemic has hit us hard. Most people are actually going to shop online. It is actually very difficult for a traditional business like a shopping center that is brick and mortar to actually go into e-commerce. How can we further reach out to our consumers without just opening an e-store like everyone else? So the idea came about is that, hey, why don't we do social commerce? When they watch the live stream, all they have to do is just hashtag IPC and Facebook Messenger platform will come up where people can actually buy on the spot. So as you can see right now behind me, the influencers are already promoting the products from our tenants.
So happy that we're here tonight with all of you guys watching from the comfort of your home.
We are also getting exclusive artists to perform live as well. Even before we started the live stream, sales started coming in already.
Today I in charge of all the admin things, which is taking in order. The team will also assign Lalamove rider to pick up the order from us and then send to our shoppers.
I am today's New Year Eve shopping assistant.
Shopping assistant.
There's an order that comes in.
We go to the outlet
and collect the items.
kita akan hantar ke delivery ataupun ke logistik untuk delivery proses.
Since I was a little girl, I have been taught to not let go of what I hold dear. Even when things got tough,
it's okay.
My sister Adele would always be around to keep me going. Adele used to go to faraway places for her treatment.
Good night, Adele. I love you. The big heart is me. The small heart is Adele.
And although we were often apart, we were always together in each other's hearts. With my little sister in my life, giving up was never an option. And slowly, things started getting better. So whenever I achieved something, Adele would always be the first person I share it with. Because it was her who made me the person I am today. And it is the love we share that gives me every reason to never, ever let go.
Ribena has always had a strong connection with our consumers. Its distinct and familiar flavor often left them with lasting moments of joy. But Chinese New Year made this task a lot harder. In the highly competitive RTD category, we had to do two things: grow in volume and value share. And we had to do all this while breaking through the Chinese New Year clutter. But how? Ribena had zero association to all things Hong and Xing of CNY. And sure, our brand was loved by many, but to our young millennial mum, it wasn't enough to be familiar. We had to be new. So how, you ask? We took advantage of Ribena's distinct color and flavor. Our young and cool mom wasn't looking to do things the old-fashioned way. Times are moving as fast as she is, so we had to move faster by championing the evolution of tradition. In other words, Chinese New Year should be like this.
新年到了，把红衣穿上，碰干再去买几箱，因为新年就是要。
过年大扫除就是要这样子，把杂物杂事全部都抛掉，放松心情，不要让自己烦躁，擦亮眼睛就别忘了笑一笑。有了购物单，快快来大商场，你们别害怕，爸爸大头仗，拿了最好的、最棒的自称Ribena，我们全部年货都要拿，这样子，这样子。新的一年，新气象，新口味，努力 up 着我的 game。到处是红红，但是我不一样，我的头发就要染，这样子，这样子。
The purple color of Ribena became a symbol of new and evolved traditions. We empowered our mom to do what she does best, putting her own twist on traditions to make it new and exciting again. The festivities were refreshed with Ribena. Our communication perfectly captured both the essence of our brand and the spirit of our Ribena mom, allowing her to define exactly what this means to her. Our volume share grew from 8.6% to 9.8%. Our value share grew from 5.6% to 6.4%. We had over 10 million views across YouTube and Facebook. And we were shown a lot of brand love.
我要 test 你，請問2020年最潮嘅係咩顏色啊？
簡單啦，梗係呢個紫色啦。所以顏秘書咧，而家就去染呢個紫色嘅頭髮。
我原本都要染紫色噶，俾佢取消一步添。
我自己都買咗呢個紫色嘅新年衫，今年一定行大運啊！
冇錯啦，新年就是要這樣子。
We even painted the stores purple. It all goes to show that if purple can be the new red, you too can define your take on tradition.
This is classic. This is class. This is classic. This is class. And this is what classic coffee sounds like. This is class.
Wonder Coffee.
The new class, Wonder 3-in-1 Premium Coffee, brewed from premium Arabica coffee beans to give perfection in every sip. Savor the new class for yourself today.
Control it, oh na 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 na. When she a back it up and I look for me, and her eye contact me I pray. Move up your body, hey girl. When you make it bounce, 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 bounce. Girl, make it bounce, 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 bounce. Hey, why you make it bounce, 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 bounce? Me say, girl, make it bounce, 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 bounce. When you make it bounce, make it bounce, make it bounce, make it bounce. We make it bounce. Control it, oh na 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 na. When she a back it up and I look for me, and her eye contact me I pray. Move up your body, hey girl. When you make it bounce, 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 bounce. Girl, make it bounce, 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 bounce. When you make it bounce. Make it bounce.
8 hours sleep, but I would say I probably get about 6.5, 7.
Grab had a problem. 7 in 10 people did not see us as more than a ride-hailing app. Even though Grab delivers everything Malaysians need every day, from food, groceries and fresh produce, clothes, decorations, goods and services. We needed to find a way for Malaysians to see us as their everyday everything app. We saw our opportunity. Chinese New Year is one of the busiest times of the year for every household celebrating. Leading up to the festivities, each member of the household is tasked with a specific responsibility, from food preparation to spring cleaning, and decorations to new clothes. Even so, we realized that there are those among us who are skilled at deftly passing on work or tasks to others. Malaysians know this as Tai Chiing. So, we brought this to life. Literally. Whatever you want, you can Tai Chi to Grab, because Grab got. We released an epic Asian martial arts film about a boy learning to be a Tai Chi master by passing the task to Grab.
Atan! Go and clean the...
Ma, I'm busy lah, Ma.
Aga! Go buy me a drink, cookies, and hamburgers.
Whatever you want, Grab got.
To solve whatever problems this Chinese New Year, you must learn the art of Tai Chi.
Go clean the house. Where's my gorgeous dress? This, and hampers? Where's my yeast?
Apart from the film, we created specific ad assets based on distinct Grab non-transport use cases of food delivery, online payments, groceries, festive decorations. Served based on custom interest and affinity buys that were popular during Chinese New Year. We also knew that people complained about having the same yisangs throughout the new year. So we collaborated with our partners to create over 180 specialty choices. To further promote Grab Yisang as having the widest selection in Malaysia, we collaborated with 10 social influencers to review and sample the most unusual Yisang varieties from our merchant partners.
It really doesn't matter how you Losang, because
whatever Yisang you want, Grab got.
Our efforts really delivered results. And now every new year, Malaysians of all ages know that
this Chinese New Year, you too can be a Tai Chi master.
Because whatever you want, Grab got.
20-year-old me. Let's face it, you're not sure about a lot of things. But don't worry. You're on a journey, and your journey matters. Every role matters. Every experience matters. Every interview matters. Because you're still discovering the world.
You're still discovering you.
And trust me, you can find what you're looking for. Roles that help you grow. Companies that you believe in. Where your skills and personality fit. Where you can pursue what matters to you. In jobs that matter. Trust me, they're out there. And so are the tools you need to get there. So keep searching. I'm excited for you. Love the future you. P.S. Don't eat too much pizza. I had to really work it off.
Petronas has done an extensive research and testing in labs on the road and on the world's most demanding racetracks. Finally, we have successfully developed a new fuel formulation, the all-new Petronas Premix 97 with Pro Race. Developing was a phenomenal effort, but launching and positioning our brand, that is a different battle. Why? Due to the pandemic outbreak and the restriction in mobility, the trend in consumer purchasing changed, and then lockdowns happened. Reaching out and connecting to customers gets more difficult. How do we improve brand perceptions in this condition? Of course, we need to understand the customer's key emotional drivers. We are interacting with highly driven individuals who want to be confident in the product they use. Individuals who are always on the go, and with short attention span, they only listen to product reviews by credible sources. That's why we couldn't just launch with discounts and promos. We needed a communication strategy that resonates with these personas. We need to convince them that we have the killer product. How to win over and make them switch? We unleashed communications to build credibility and create an uproar about the new fuel. To appeal to the customers, we created customized communication and convenient experience that is easily accessible on their fingertips by showcasing the data, technology, and effort. We collaborated with Poltan to carry out blind tests under real-world conditions. 2 out of 3 participants experienced better performance compared to other premium fuels. Prior to launch, we started off our crescendo phase with product reviews to create curiosity and induce trial. We also created a microsite, premix.my, that encapsulated every detail of our new fuel, explaining the 3 core phases which are design, develop, and deliver. We launched a live premiere with 23 live cross postings on top news and top aggregator social channels. We introduced the new Petronas Premix 97 with Pro Race and the power to move beyond for TV commercial.
Petronas Dagangan Berhad.
Petronas Premix 97 dengan Pro Race.
We produced product video to help the customers understand on how we engineered the new fuel for unbeatable performance.
99.9% removal of engine deposits from key areas.
We did not stop there. We continue with the Digital Lab campaign. 146 social media posts, 8 video testimonials, 16 key opinion leaders social posts, 21 news and social aggregators. We use sophisticated data tools to connect with customers, geo-targeting, personalized messaging via video analytics, e-voucher and settle. We then embark on strategic partnerships to launch a nationwide fuel contest that offers amazing prizes such as Verdi Condominium, Mercedes-Benz GLA 250 line and many more. Despite of all the challenges faced, the launch of the all-new Petronas Premix 97 with Pro Race was a huge success. We achieved PR value 1.2 million, engagement 2 million, video views 5.5 million views, impressions 15 million, new customers acquired 30,954, total incremental of fuel volume 8.3 million litres. Not forgetting, we conquered share of voice by 74% with 98% positive and neutral sentiment. And all numbers are ahead of target within 3 months. Until today, our new fuel continues to gain traction with competitor loyalists and brand switches. Our fuel is the fuel that gives our customers the power to move beyond, in life or on the road.
In the beginning, it was all super straightforward. FNN wanted to launch its Teh Tarik Ori, the first on-the-go mamak-style Teh Tarik in Malaysia. A big deal for the brand, meant to be launched in a big way. Everywhere it mattered. But then, 10 days before it was meant to be launched, the MCO was announced. On 18th March 2020, the country would come to a standstill. With the first ever lockdown in place, all plans for the launch were out the window. So, with the clock ticking, the agency had to pull off nothing short of a miracle. All in less than 2 weeks. Tick-tock. We scrambled. We brainstormed. We wish we had the luxury of hanging out at the mama to... Wait a minute. Fact. For most Malaysians, hanging out at the mama shop and enjoying a teh tarik are a way of life. But with the MCO in full swing, that meant no more eating out. No more hanging out. No more teh tarik sessions. Except, maybe not. Sure, people were stuck at home with no mama in sight. All they had was this little software called Zoom. At that time, no one had started using it for birthdays, dates, celebrations. So we thought, why not a massive Zoom mama session? So we rallied the troops. First, we called upon fun yet down-to-earth influencers that the main target, Malays aged 18 to 44, would love hanging out with at a mama. Then, we put long-time influencer of a different kind, the Malaysia Book of Records, on standby. Thus, Malaysia's first ever mass virtual mama gathering was born.
Akan cuba memecah Malaysia Book of Records,
where Malaysians got to rub virtual shoulders with local celebrities, join in fun games and activities, enjoy jokes at each other's expense, chat about nothing and everything, and of course, discover the best way to drink FNN Teh Tarik Ori. Basically, everything you'd expect from a mama session, minus the greasy hair. After hanging out into the wee hours of the morning, making new friends, and having an all-round blast, participants went to bed with spirits lifted and woke up to a whole new reality. They had officially been part of Malaysia's biggest virtual mama gathering, as witnessed and recognized by the Malaysia Book of Records, and helped propel FNN Teh Tarik Ori into the Malaysian psyche with a host of impressive results, including taking the brand from 0 to 60.1% market share, becoming number 1 in the category. 667 participants in one awesome first ever record-breaking event with a total reach of 7,563,180 against a target of 6.6 million, with total conversion of 20% and 1.7 million bottles sold within 4 months of launch. Objectives achieved.
Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin has announced a nationwide lockdown.
Infections have surged to more than 1,000.
2020, a year of pandemic, lockdowns and turmoil. A year of constant battle against the ravages of COVID-19. A struggle that spared no Malaysian. For the first time after decades of independence, 2020 was the first Merdeka when we weren't truly free. Coming out of the 3-month lockdown, Malaysians were displaced and distraught. People from all walks of life struggled to get back on their feet. In the face of crisis, TNB wanted to inspire and unite the nation by bringing back the core Malaysian spirit. Because the real Malaysian spirit is about being stronger together, uniting us against all hardships that come our way. With this being our key message, we set out to make it known to all Malaysians. We revisited our history and found that the source of our Malaysian spirit was commemorated on the very first Merdeka in 1957. Through Tunku Abdul Rahman's speech in the Declaration of Independence, we found that his message back then still rings true for us today. Yet at that time, the speech was delivered in English, made for a crowd that wasn't our own. So, we decided to reclaim ownership by changing it to Bahasa Malaysia, our national language. We readapted Tunku's message of hope and care in a transcreated version of our Declaration of Independence known as Deklarasi Anak Malaysia. We saw that the best way to bring the idea to life was through the eyes of children, representing the future of Malaysia. Through an empowering and charming film, a little boy dressed in Tunku's iconic attire led a multiracial ensemble of children from different cultures to perform the historic speech. Done in the form of pidato, the culturally unique performance brought nostalgia to all Malaysians. The film is the Malaysian spirit at work, as one with verve and perseverance, overcoming any challenge. Each child, a tribute to our everyday heroes. They who stepped up in that moment of crisis, armed with love and duty. We reached Malaysians across multiple digital platforms and publications, disrupting the darkness of COVID-19 news to bring a brighter outlook through engaging content. More importantly, we made sure that our message of hope was accessible to all. On National Day, we delivered our message and featured Tunku's iconic salute across all major vernacular publications. On Malaysia Day, we continued by featuring hand symbols that reflected different expressions of unity, showing that there would be no limit to expressing the Malaysian spirit. The campaign touched people's hearts and became the talk of the nation.
Sehubungan itu, Tenaga Nasional Berhad TNB tampil dengan iklan Deklarasi Anak Malaysia.
And positive perception of TNB grew. In resurrecting this memory of independence, TNB keeps alive Tunku's legacy, reminding us that with the strength of our Malaysian spirit, we can power a better, brighter future together.
Prostate cancer, a death sentence for men. Or is it? Fact, it's one of the most curable forms of cancer. If detected early, 90% of patients survive 10 years or more. Yet in Malaysia, 60% of patients miss that early detection stage and present themselves way too late, compared to the 25% in Singapore. That is why the Urological Cancer Trust Fund enlisted our help to halve the number from 60% to 30%. By 2025. So why aren't more Malaysian men getting their prostates checked? First, the lack of awareness. Many don't recognize the symptoms until it's too late. And some are too macho to admit a problem. It's intimidating to see a doctor. Plus, men and their problems just aren't well represented in the media. Think about it. You've got Me Too, Time's Up, Like a Girl, championing women and their issues. But none for men? So we created a campaign that outright represented men. Introducing Only Men Can, a campaign that champions all things only men can do. Grow a beard, play hang tua, peace standing, and of course, get prostate cancer and survive it. We introduced the campaign's narrative with a video. Its controversial premise caught the attention of viewers nationwide. We amplified the support we received on our social media pages. The rallying cries from Malaysians' top leaders, medical profession, sporting heroes, celebrities, and of course, cancer survivors too. We even went on national television, fronted by the likes of Harith Iskandar. Newspapers too. And then there's OnlyMenCan.com, a portal that covers everything you need to know about prostate health and prostate cancer. Despite the limited budget for paid media, in just 1 month, Only Men Can effectively achieved over 2 million ringgit in PR value, a staggering 8.6 million in social reach, 143% increase in prostate-related searches, and so much more. Proving that we can indeed get men to pay attention and know that surviving prostate cancer is something only men can.
Tiger Beer is famous for its street food festivals. With Malaysians stuck at home, one of the biggest things they would yearn for was the experience of chowing down their local street food. We had a huge void to fill. With smartphone users reaching a near saturation level of 98.7%, we had to do the only logical thing. We brought Tiger's Street Food Festival to them. I know what you're thinking. Did we create a world from scratch, test it every day, optimize the polygon count, create over 1,000 avatars, speak to every street food vendor in Malaysia, build a virtual stall for them, create exclusive dishes with them, feed thousands of festival goers with curated menus and free beer, and entertain them with games and a live performance? Yes. Yes, we did. Customize avatars? Check. Hanging out with your buddies? Check. Games? Check. Musical performance? Check. Free beer? Check. The best part? Your favorite local street food delivered right to your doorstep at the press of a button. The festival brought excitement over street food to new heights in the new normal. The results were beyond what we expected, and our street food partners shared the success. Not to mention, we created a world's first. By combining technology with our passion for local street food, we brought the festival spirit from the streets to your screens.
Love 8 hours sleep, but I would say I probably get about 6.5, 7.
20-year-old me. Let's face it, you're not sure about a lot of things. But don't worry. You're on a journey, and your journey matters. Every role matters. Every experience matters. Every interview matters. Because you're still discovering the world.
You're still discovering you.
And trust me, you can find what you're looking for. Roles that help you grow. Companies that you believe in. Where your skills and personality fit. Where you can pursue what matters to you. In jobs that matter. Trust me, they're out there. And so are the tools you need to get there. So keep searching. I'm excited for you. Love the future you. P.S. Don't eat too much pizza. I had to really work it off.
When the pandemic struck in early 2020, Malaysians were left stuck at home, missing out on big festive occasions like Hari Raya and other milestones like birthdays. Things weren't so hot for us too. Our grills at Nando's had to operate minimally, and no one could dine in to enjoy simple pleasures like eating peri-peri chicken with friends. We suffered a 74% dip in sales and faced an uphill battle to grow our social share of voice versus other brands who had established a strong delivery presence with bigger pockets in the category. We knew we had to do something to raise their spirits and keep their flames burning. So when the lockdown eased a few months later, it was time to re-celebrate 2020. We started by wishing our fans a Selamat Hari Raya and a Happy Chinese New Year, all in the month of September. Fans were confused and absolutely buzzing with curiosity. Some even linked it to the Sabah state elections, which took place on the same weekend. Other brands didn't miss the opportunity and teased us about the timing of the post. We became the talk of the town. And when it's time to unveil the reason, the spirit of celebrations ignited in Malaysians. But we didn't stop there. Not only did we give them something sweet to re-celebrate 2020 with, we even engaged with the brands that interacted with us and re-celebrated 2020 with them. And let's just say it sparked a couple of laughs and a whole lot of love. Nando's topped the Malaysian Twitter trending chart on the first 2 days of the campaign launch. Brand mentions increased by 119% and positive sentiment grew by 2%. We garnered a total organic reach of 4,087,883 and generated 908,000 ringgit in earned media value. A total of 53 brands, online media portals and KOLs came together to re-celebrate with us. We brought in 6.5% week-on-week sales uplift. Guess we really did show people that it's not too late to make it a good year.
So protect all of us with Nippon Paint Virus Guard. Formulated with silver ion technology to destroy viruses on walls. Nippon Paint Virus Guard.
Banyak permukaan seperti tombol pintu, dinding dan juga permukaan meja yang memungkinkan seseorang terdedah pada pelbagai jangkitan dan juga penyakit.
Text after text is what I've been getting in my family chat since Astro Awani broke the news about a paint that can destroy human coronaviruses.
Berkesan melawan sehingga 99% jangkitan coronavirus pada manusia.
99%?
99%有效抵抗人類嘅冠狀病毒。
抗病毒咁犀利？9 விழுக்காடு மனித கொரோனா வைரஸ்களுக்கு எதிராகவும் இது செயல்படுதாம்.
அடேங்கப்பா!
As your wall, I've listened to you for far too long. Now I want you to listen to me and listen closely.
Tahu tak, virus boleh bertapak atas dinding. Jadi, dapatkan pelindungan untuk semua dengan Nippon Paint Virus Guard.
但实际上，细菌和病毒就附着在房子的墙上。对，就是我。为什么你总是忽略占了房子最大面积的我？
Nippon Paint Virus Guard என் மீது பூசுங்க. Silver ion தொழில்நுட்பத்தோடு வடிவமைக்கப்பட்ட இந்த paint.
There she goes again. Disinfecting everywhere. But she's always ignoring me. Hey, come here. Surprising, isn't it? A sneeze here, a cough there. I'm the perfect environment for viruses to gather and easily transmit to you. Those casual moments when you let your guard down, unaware of the dangers hidden in me.
Pizza Hut is a brand that Malaysians have grown up on. We remember that red roof, the booths, the salad bar, and that iconic, cheesy, original pan pizza experience. But over the years, these fond childhood memories of celebrations with loved ones have become old and even sometimes irrelevant for today's social media romance generation. In comparison to our competitors, Pizza Hut was not getting enough visibility in terms of social chatter due to the popularity of our competition. This resulted in a low volume of conversations, and most of what we did get leaned towards negative sentiments, like product and service complaints. With our new heart-shaped Pizza Heart Valentine's Day pizza about to launch, this was the perfect opportunity to reignite the love for Pizza Hut in Malaysian hearts and cut through the clutter while being relevant, humorous, and disruptive. We realized that people love it when competing brands like Domino's and Pizza Hut fight on social media. We also realized that Malaysians are also all about local humor, like the SMK Fast Food, a viral comic series that featured Pizza Hut as Pijahat, a prankster who was always getting in trouble with other brands. So we tapped into these two realizations and decided that we'd do something different by showing our competitors love instead. We did this by collaborating with the creator of SMK Fast Food to turn his bad boy Pizza Hut Pijahat character into a good guy who just wants to give love a chance. Then cheekily sent pizza hearts with cheesy pickup lines to our top competition. Within mere hours of delivery, we got love from our competitors and media houses in the form of their own gestures of love. And more brands that were left out asked us for their own Pizza Hearts. We also had a 41% increase in engagement, 132% increase in shares, and an increase in positive brand chatter from 76% to 99%, as well as increased brand social performance with engagement 20% higher than the monthly average in year 2019. And during the main Pizza Hut weekend, sales went up 165% compared to 2018. Our hearty efforts gained us 1,244,400 ringgit in earned media across 32 articles with a potential reach of 17,336,040, giving us momentum for the year and showing that through a little cheesy humor and a lot of Pizza Heart, we could make Malaysians and our competitions fall back in love with us.
In 2020, Prudential needed to speak a new lingo because growth meant capturing the growing millennial market. And we had the perfect product for a generation who wants to ease their family's financial burden. PruMy Critical Care, a policy that offers lump sum cash as income replacement if you were struck with critical illness. Unfortunately, the last thing on a millennial's mind is the possibility of getting critically ill. To them, that only happens to older folks. So how do we sell critical illness insurance to people who think they're immune to critical illness? The core idea was to convince them that critical illness doesn't discriminate, that it strikes anyone regardless of age, gender, race, or life stage. And finally, to rally millennials together with a call to do something about it.
Critical illness doesn't care if you are young,
or if you are fit and strong,
or if you're starting a family,
or even if you're a father.
It doesn't care about
your dreams,
your loved ones,
or your future.
But that doesn't mean you should let it disrupt your life.
Critical illness doesn't discriminate.
Do something about it.
We collaborated with 4 millennials who were critical illness survivors. Filmmaker Jared Lee, radio DJ Hisham Hamza, dancer Emily Tan, model Jaslinda Paul, and rolled out real-life stories to debunk the myth that critical illness only happens when you're old, highlighting the importance of income replacement when confronting the emotional and financial impact of critical illness. Then we plastered them on high-traffic billboards nationwide alongside statements of empowerment, and further disrupted millennials on their favorite platforms, amplifying our message on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And to drive even more leads, we launched contextual content based on their interests. Which led to a landing page where they could sign up for PruMy Critical Care from as low as 100 ringgit. The campaign exceeded expectations despite being in a pandemic. 92% recalled the message that critical illness doesn't discriminate. 2 times increase in total numbers of policy submissions. Average sum assured above 100,000 ringgit increased by 30%. Overall annual premium equivalent recovered to pre-lockdown numbers. Number 1 amongst all insurers for critical illness-related keywords. And most importantly, millennials knew that in the face of critical illness, they can now do something about it.
In the beginning, it was all super straightforward. FNN wanted to launch its Teh Tarik Ori, the first on-the-go mamak-style Teh Tarik in Malaysia. A big deal for the brand, meant to be launched in a big way. Everywhere it mattered. But then, 10 days before it was meant to be launched, the MCO was announced. On 18th March 2020, the country would come to a standstill. With the first ever lockdown in place, all plans for the launch were out the window. So, with the clock ticking, the agency had to pull off nothing short of a miracle. All in less than 2 weeks. Tick-tock. We scrambled. We brainstormed. We wish we had the luxury of hanging out at the mama to... Wait a minute. Fact. For most Malaysians, hanging out at the mama shop and enjoying a teh tarik are a way of life. But with the MCO in full swing, that meant no more eating out, no more hanging out, no more teh tarik sessions. Except, maybe not. Sure, people were stuck at home with no mama in sight. All they had was this little software called Zoom. At that time, no one had started using it for birthdays, dates, celebrations. So we thought, why not a massive Zoom Mama session, both to launch FNN Teh Tarik Ori and help Malaysians get out of their funk. Central to this idea was a select group of individuals who would appeal to our main audience, Malays queued, aged 18 to 44, and fast, likable and vibrant local DJs to host the event, drive hype, and keep the buzz going. Down-to-earth yet fun influencers with a strong fan base for us to leverage on their following and spread the word quickly. These collaborations helped build momentum and anticipation for the event and ensured talkability even long after it was over. To spice things up even more, we put an influencer of a different kind on standby, the Malaysia Book of Records. Thus, Malaysia's first ever mass virtual Mama gathering was born.
Akan cuba memecah Malaysia Book of Records,
where Malaysians got to rub virtual shoulders with local celebrities, join in fun games and activities, enjoy jokes at each other's expense, chat about nothing and everything, and of course, discover the best way to drink FNN Teh Tarik Ori. Basically, everything you'd expect from a mama session, minus the greasy hair. After hanging out into the wee hours of the morning, making new friends, and having an all-round blast, participants went to bed with spirits lifted and woke up to a whole new reality. They had officially been part of Malaysia's biggest virtual Mama gathering, as witnessed and recognized by the Malaysia Book of Records. 667 participants in one awesome first ever record-breaking event, with a total reach of 7,563,180 against a target of 6.6 million, taking the brand from 0 to 60.1% market share, becoming number 1 in the category, with total conversion of 20% and 1.7 million bottles sold within 4 months of launch. Objectives achieved.
My name is Raylene and I'm from Fisherman Integrated. So today I'll be sharing the case study for our campaign for Nando's We Celebrate 2020. So, when the whole pandemic struck in 2020, the spirits of Malaysians were low because, that was the first time we went through something like this. People were uncertain. People couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So as a brand that really wants to connect with people on a personal level, we really wanted to reignite the fire in people and also keep the flame burning by spreading positivity. So I think the biggest challenge that we had was that, Nando's business has always been about the dine-in experience. We don't have very strong delivery presence like your other brands out there. It's always about dine-in experience. So when the MCO took place in 2020, our business actually had to operate minimally. And that actually resulted in us suffering a dip in sales by 74%. So not only that, we also struggled in terms of growing our share of voice, versus other brands out there. Because like what I mentioned, our delivery presence wasn't strong. So when we compare ourselves to other brands out there, we didn't have this advantage. Plus, in terms of marketing budget, ours was also lower as compared to all these brands. So, even though times were tough, our clients still give us 2 challenges to meet for this campaign. So firstly, they wanted us to increase dine-in sales by 5%, and they also wanted us to increase our social buzz level by 10% during such a challenging moment, because I think that's what agencies are for also, right? So when we plan our strategy, we actually look into the sentiment, we look into what people were going through, what people actually wanted. And one thing for a fact that we knew was that Malaysians were all left up at home. It was the first time we also miss out on celebrations, be it your big one like Raya or Mother's Day, or even smaller ones like your birthdays or anniversary. So when we did our research, we also found out that during that period of time, the top 3 things that Malaysians really wanted to do were, to meet friends, to spend time with family, and also to dine out. So basically, we just miss that kind of physical interactions that we used to take for granted back then. We really miss that, having the time, the opportunity to eat together, to catch up over a meal, having people to serve us rather than confining at home eating tapao food every day. So that was when we knew that we had to really raise the spirits of Malaysians by spreading positivity, and we wanted to do it in our own Nando's way. Hence, we created the opportunity for Malaysians to re-celebrate 2020. So basically what we told people out there was that everything that you wanted to celebrate but couldn't in 2020, we can all re-celebrate together at Nando's now. So when it comes to the execution, instead of launching a video like how we would normally do with our other campaigns, we decided to embrace our Nando's cheeky persona by wishing our fans a Selamat Hari Raya and also a Happy Chinese New Year, all in the month of September. So our objective was very clear for this. We wanted to just really stir up some confusion. We wanted to create that talkability, and we were right. Our fans were absolutely confused and they thought it was a mistake from our end. So people were saying things like, Raya apa ni? Nando's, are you okay? What are you smoking? So there were also people who actually connected it back to the Sabah state election because it happened during the same weekend. Because, like Pilihan Raya, Selamat Hari Raya, that's how people connected the dot also lah. So, not just people like you and me, even brands, news portal, they also tease us about the timing of the post when we posted these 2 greeting posts back then. And then 2 days later, we actually revealed that, hey guys, no worries, it wasn't a mistake from our end. It's just our own way of wanting to re-celebrate 2020 with you. So we launched it through a 60-second storytelling video in the Nando's animation way. And of course, we also know that actions definitely speak louder than words. So we didn't just tell them to re-celebrate, we even gave them something sweet to re-celebrate. So we gave them this 10 ringgit off voucher for them to come together and re-celebrate at Nando's. So when the public found out that it wasn't a mistake from our end, and when they found out what was the intention behind the 2 greeting posts, the response was very positive. People were complimenting the idea, saying how, Nando's actually brought positivity back to their life. And, if you see the screenshots here, some people even re-celebrate their occasion with us, on our Facebook as well. So not just regular people like you and me, brands, news portals, they also complimented and reported and talked about, this whole idea. So of course, we didn't stop there, and we really wanted to encourage brands to come together, to spread the positivity together, because like what I mentioned, the whole brand intention was really to keep the flame burning, to keep the flames of Malaysia burning, to spread positivity. So that's why we also encourage brands to come together to spread it. And how we did that was to reply to all these brands who interacted with us on Facebook, Instagram, and also Twitter. We wanted to build more hype on social and basically to continue creating the conversations and create a social movement. So of course, we also continued to build more momentum from online to offline by sending all these surprise delivery to some of the brands out there. So the results definitely surpassed our expectations. Client gave us the KPI to hit 10%. We managed to increase by 119%. In terms of our organic reach,
so sorry to interject, Wei Ling.
Yep.
Okay. Your time is actually up, but I'd like to just finish your last sentence.
Sure. So our organic reach, we managed to garner more than 4 million, where we topped the Malaysian Twitter trending chart. And media value, we earned more than 900k. And lastly, from a business standpoint, we also recorded a 6.5% week-on-week sales uplift. So I think all in all, it really looks like we did show Malaysians that it wasn't too late for us to re-celebrate 2020 together.
So I want to ask, how would you see the response of sales? You were saying that up week by week 6.5 versus your competitor. Is that considered healthy on average or high?
The 6.5 is versus our own sales versus the past week. So I would say that it's considered healthy during the CMCO period. So, but I don't think I can really reveal what's the benchmark because it's confidential from the Nando's end.
So you don't have any tracking versus your competitor? Were you guys performing about on par or higher?
From our end, because our main objective was to really build buzz and interactions with our audiences. That's why our key KPI was really to look into the buzz. How many people mentioned about us? How many people interacted with us? So that was a key thing that we measure. Sales was just the secondary to see whether or not we managed to drive sales to the store. So hence we focus a lot on, whether in terms of building brand buzz and also in terms of engagement, whether or not we hit that numbers.
Okay, thank you.
Just a question on the tactics used by fishermen in creating the teaser ads, right? Because I think Nando's is pretty well known for creating teaser ads pre a campaign. So this time around, do you sense a fatigue with this kind of approach, or was it even better received because of the 2020 CMO context?
I think it was better received because it served a purpose. So for example, during last year, especially the Q2 period, a lot of brands out there, they focus a lot on, for example, CSR, promo, or like new product launches. So that's why, when we created this campaign, we really wanted to touch the feelings and touch the emotions of people. So even though it's the same tactic of using a teaser post, but it served a bigger purpose by encouraging people to re-celebrate 2020 together. So that's why we don't think it would be an issue, and we proceeded to go with that tactic.
Wei Ling, can you walk us through this interaction with other brands, right? What was behind that, and what was the approach that you've used?
Okay, so like I mentioned, when we first posted the 2 greeting posts, we didn't expect it to blow up. So, on the first day itself, we saw brands like GSC, we saw brands like Burger Lab, Eva Airline, they all started to post about this. So for example, GSC, they were like, oh, since Nando's say together, today is Chinese New Year, why not you all just come to GSC and watch our Chinese New Year movie? So when we saw that kind of interaction, when we started to garner that kind of interaction, we thought, hey, it's also a good idea to, garner all these brands together to spread that kind of positivity. So whatever that all these brands posted on their platform, we posted a reply to them. So, for example, like GSC, they promoted the Chinese New Year movie. And then when we respond to them, we say things like, hey guys, today's Chinese New Year, watch this movie. GSC, don't say we never re-celebrate with you. Let's re-celebrate Chinese New Year together. So the intent behind this is really to, get people to come together and re-celebrate together.
I think the timing is quite right, lah. I mean, it's quite a fresh idea to re-celebrate. Yep. Right, given that Malaysians were by then have been in lockdown for months, right, and we missed Hari Raya, we missed a lot of interesting stuff. So well done to come out with something fresh that captures the moment.
I think to add on to that is, I think you guys managed to take the opportunity where you don't go into the defensive mode, right? Like, hey, why are other brands capitalizing on our, so to speak, the team, but instead you're turning around and make it into a bigger purpose. So I think that's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, we wanted to be a bit more sensitive during that period of time and really to inject positivity and not so much on, selling products and selling pushing our promos.
Hi everyone, my name is Ming Lee. I'm actually the AGM of Marketing from Nippon Paint. Here, I'll present to you my presentation. Early 2020, right, or even before that, Nippon Paint has been embarking into stimulating painting. Because for us, right, it's either on innovation that we launch, or in fact, we actually use colors to stimulate the interest to paint. So then later, early of the year, when we actually launched this at the time, without us knowing, MCO kickstart. And then later, when it comes to KCO, there's a lot of uncertainty with our customers and of course, in also our business. And then we realized that instead of just having beautiful colors, right, we noticed that the market, a lot of our target audience actually look at sanitizing every single thing that they can imagine. Doorknobs, switches, table floors, they actually sanitize a lot. But the thing is that, right, we realized that in fact when they do all the sanitizing, they forgot about actually the biggest surface in their home. If you look around your house, you can do a lot of cleaning, but have you actually cleaned your wall? So that actually gave us an opportunity to create, from Ruang Baru, asking people to create new spaces with their families. We actually asked them to create safe spaces so that we can keep everyone safe. So from there, right, of course, when we noticed everyone started to sanitize and all, we did some research. Our research tells us that, right, 88% of the individual actually overlook on walls when they do cleaning. And 86% of parents actually, right, never thought that walls can actually transmit bacteria and viruses. And yes, in fact, it's true, viruses can survive on walls. And because of that, right, so how then we can actually make walls relevant to the conversation? Shifting the attention to walls and telling customer that they are not doing enough if they are ignoring the biggest surface of their home. So take care of yourself by taking care of your wall first. So our big idea is, why don't we breathe life to walls and get them to spill all the unsavory details of its surface? If the wall can talk, they will tell you a story, because we actually sanitize everywhere, but imagine the world seeing you sanitize everywhere except for themselves. So we actually urge the public to actually listen to the walls. So with that, right, we actually created multiple versions of communication targeting to different stakeholders. For example, we actually had the first one, which is portraying the scenario of people sanitizing everything except for the walls. The second one is that, right, do you know that there's a lot of germs on your wall, but they cannot relate. So how do we do that? If you notice, when you sneeze, right, you actually go sideways. When you cough, you go sideways. And when all these droplets start to float around, it actually touches your wall. So that is the second version. The third version is that, right, in fact, right, when the walls are full of germs, you know that kids actually use walls to help them to walk. When we want to wear our shoes, our hands are touching the wall as well. When we are at the pantry creating conversation, we love to lean against the wall. So these are the multiple versions that we try to create to stimulate the awareness and education on people, on walls that consist of viruses. So other than homeowner, we actually look at our stakeholder. One of our stakeholders is, of course, dealers. When we look at dealers, right, we actually do a lot of education. Virus Guard is actually a very different type of product. It's not just going into the store and then asking for paint, This one needs a little bit of explanation. So during MCO, we did more than 1,000 dealers through webinars and train the trainer product, right? Teaching dealers the fundamental to envelope virus versus the non-envelope virus, why the need of you having hand washing, so that when we talk to our customer, we can able to assist to explain, and how do they read our tax report. So those are the kind of education that we actually had for our dealer. Other than that, we actually engaged with the Ministry of Health during the time, doing presentation, working together with them, trying to see whether is there a possibility of Virus Guard being used at all hospitals. So we also did some product presentation to our Ministry of Health, JKR, MOE, you name it. Other than that, right, our third phase of it is, after creating all this mass awareness and credibility, in fact, towards last year end, we also launched our businesses communication. For example, other than the awareness to homeowner, one of our businesses, which is very important to create a confidence level to help businesses to regain back their business confidence. So hence, we also have copies that we work closely with BFM to also do that communication and education to SMEs. Other than that, right, of course, with the copies that we have, of course, we actually amplify it through mediums that are able to reach out to our target audience. Previously, when we do our communication, our target audience is very much for Virus Guard, right, is mommy with children at home. But now, in fact, COVID-19 doesn't really just target to mummies with babies. Now it's everybody. So looking at our marketing platforms that we created, we actually go through TV, radio, digital, social media, rich banner, print to PR. And then we also work with Hospital Sungai Buloh to actually give them some paint for them to paint all those quality wards. So with that, we also map all these communication that we have created into multiple consumer journey, because we believe that this consumer journey, in order for them to really believe and adopt to create the conversion. We actually map all our assets to all this consumer journey. Hence, that's how we did it. And of course, with this thinking, we actually grew our sales, needless to say, with more than 500%. Also, we actually launched our e-store as well, just to complement and help our dealer to actually, move into new norm, because not all dealers know how to actually, pipeline or actually evolve their business. So we also did that for them. So in fact, total sales wise, we actually grew 511%. And then our distribution, increased by 6% for this particular product. And then more than 15 hospitals actually use our virus guard right now, because we actually specified in our project, right? When we specify, it doesn't mean that they will use. The chances of them using is more than 80%. More than 30 hospitals right now have specified using virus guard, but so far we have painted 15 hospitals nationwide. Of course, with all the money that we spend, we created a lot of high recall by our target audience. The main thing about all this high recall is that I'm actually quite proud is that in our category, when you go in and buy paint, you will actually say, hey, I want to use Nippon paint. You tell your dealers that I want to use Nippon paint. But with this product, when they enter the store, they say, hello, I would like to use Nippon virus guard, or even use the word virus guard. So in fact, in terms of that, right, we felt that we are very happy about that whole result. And then, of course, taking a glimpse into our next step, what are we going to do next? That is very important for us. So we continue to embark into health and wellness, positioning to position ourselves to drive our brand beyond than just us being the coating expert, from floor to roof and everything in between, but we focus on health and wellness. By doing so, right, we actually innovate more products. Because virus guard is about 190 ringgit versus the normal product is about 130, 150 ringgit. So because of that, we needed more pricing tier, so more people can actually afford all these health and wellness type of innovation, so we can actually keep everyone safe. The second thing that we are looking into is that, like, not just different pricing point for interior product, we also look at all surfaces from floor to roof and everything in between. Like, your walls, your floor, your metal, your wood, all those will have this property. That will be our future innovation to create the entire Nippon Paint, being the coating expert, focusing on health and wellness. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation.
Just to clarify, because you had your brand awareness of growing by 50% in your target. That was part of your objective in your document?
Because when we look at brand awareness, we look at all spectrum of stakeholder. As in general masses, I believe our reach is more than 80% of Malaysian. And with that, right, we believe that the awareness of our stakeholder, our dealer, is more than, I believe it should be more than 50% now, because majority of our dealer, we have total of 2,000 dealers. We reach out to more than 1,005 dealers briefing this particular product. So in fact, right, brand awareness for dealer, I believe is more than 50. When it comes to customer, right, with our heavy spend to this year, right, I believe our brand awareness for Nippon Paint is more than 80%. For Virus Guard, I believe it will not be any much lower. In terms of Nippon Paint as a brand, right, because like I mentioned, in my category, for people to walk in to specify Virus Guard, Weatherborne, Easy Wash, usually they specify Nippon Paint. So with that brand awareness, we have more than 80% because of our brand strength. But when it comes to Virus Guard alone, right, our sales is still going on. This is still a very infant product. If you see the way that we spend and being focused, right, I believe we should top our brand awareness. Whether is it more than 50%, I'm sure, I am confident that I've reached out to more than 50%. Yeah.
Very interesting insights you've got there. Is this a sustainable solution or just wondering?
With this particular technology that we have, we will actually roll it out to different pricing tiers. We also will roll it out to different category or product category. So when our brand look at to build the brand depth, right, under Nippon Paint, the coating expert, in different surfaces, now we are focusing bringing health and wellness as a pioneer innovation in all our product innovation. So with that, that's why I ended my slide with two important things to create the sustainability of the business, so that we actually continue to build a need. For example, like how we have launched odorless last time when the paint has a lot of smell. You call it new house smell, but we actually launch it with paint with no odor at all. So we wanted to create the market and push the market towards a main thing. So when you go to buy a paint, you will ask whether is it an antibacterial, antivirus paint. It becomes an embedded USP for all our product in the future. That's our aim. So definitely it's a sustainable business because this is not a campaign activation. This is a business, direction that we are looking into to create a strong competitive edge over our competitor.
Thank you. Very clear.
Yeah.
One quick question.
Yes.
When was the product launched? I mean, is VirusGuard a new opportunistic name or was it already in the market?
It was launched back in 2015. At the point in time during 2015, right, VirusGuard was launched targeting to mommy with babies. The USP then was hand, foot, and mouth disease and H1N1. So it's not a new product. And during that time, right, other than the hand, foot, and mouth and H1N1, we actually worked very closely with Malaysia Society of Allergy and Immunology, Doctors Association, to actually create the awareness of H1N1 and hand, foot, and mouth diseases to parents. Hence, we have a lot of activation there. And with project sector, we actually create a lot of vibes on indoor air quality. That was what we actually wanted to do. But back in 2020, right, it's no longer just mommy with kids. It's everybody. Yep. So hence we channel our communication to everybody right now. Yeah.
And the sales grew phenomenally. Thank you very much.
Yes. I'm curious, Datin. 2020 was the year of the MCOs and people, So how were people managing to paint their walls? I'm sorry, I'm just asking a very simple question.
Good question.
I've been trying to paint my walls, and everyone keeps saying every few times, "Oh, we can't come to your house. We can't come and do this." So,
correct. Actually, in fact, right, for our category, our sales did very well during MCO. Firstly, we actually quickly did our site. We actually developed a new e-store website within a month to sell paint to homeowner. Of course, homeowner usually they like to do small things because the more you stay at home, right, the more you notice there's something wrong with your house. Your walls. Those days the stain is no longer, it's not apparent, but now becomes so visible in your eyes. Number one. Number two is those projects that people do halfway suddenly MCO. Where are they going to buy paint? So therefore, our e-store come into picture. And then when the MCO becomes CMCO and RMCO, our sales actually shot very high. Reason being is because people don't mind doing not just quick fix. Now they actually get people to come and do a bigger job. So not just our category, like furniture and all, the sales is also increased as well. So hence, when people stay at home more, they want to make sure their home is conducive enough for their families and all. So number one, they do it themselves. When they do it themselves, they do smaller spaces, meaning the things that they need to do. If, example, they ask someone to actually do it for them, they do a bigger area. So what we notice is that people are doing pockets of stuff, like for example, mainly living hall and dining hall. Yeah.
So in terms of just one last thing, in terms of market share, has there been a difference? I'm really curious to know.
We are the biggest paint player in the market with more than 50% market share. The reason why Nippon Paint is so huge is because firstly, we have paint for different surfaces, like I said, from floor to roof and everything in between. We even have painting tools and waterproofing. Whereas our competitor, right, is only the normal general paint. So if we focus paint, right, if we compete, Nippon Paint is still one of the biggest paint player, not just in Malaysia, but also in Asia. Yeah.
Datin, I'm very impressed. You're passionate about your brand and your business, and I love the way you guys think insights, and I think the way you actually articulate that, you really put the customer needs in front, right, and build. And I love the fact that you said it's a business strategy and not just a campaign strategy. But I just got to reel it back to the fact that it's a marketing award, and your partnership with Astro, right? Ruang Selamat, hashtag Ruang Selamat. I just want to understand a little bit about the partnership with Astro. Was it just a choice of channels, or were there content, or were there different activation and different types of media options that you worked out with them?
Sincerely, as a marketeer, right, I look at how to bring the biggest impact to my business and optimizing our marketing spend. I think that is the most important thing as a marketeer, especially during challenging time. And Astro provide me a very, firstly, staying at home. The rating has increased by 43% in terms of ratings. And when it comes to digital, right, their increase, is about 18%. So because of that, right, Astro will be one of my choice. But what captivates me the most important thing is that to optimize my marketing spend, I look at who is my target audience. And on top of that, to produce all my videos, right, I work closely with Astro, leveraging on their in-house resources. And I keep my marketing spend low to ensure that I have money to amplify it so big that I can reach out to majority of Malaysians. Because that is my ultimate aim.
Excellent. Thank you.